If the good sponsor can commit to me that he will accept the amendments that I'll be proposing at the proper time, then I will dispense with my interpolation. Nordeco has a fixed contracted capacity base on their franchise areas. Actual peak demand. Can the sponsor tell us the current contracted capacity of Nordeco? Is the sponsor aware of the impact to the contracted capacity left to Nordeco once these areas are carved out from its franchise? Ito po yung sinasabi ko kanina, Madam Speaker, nakawawa ang matitirang consumers ng Nordeco. Kinard up eh. Kumbaga, ulitin ko, kumbaga sa karne, kinatay mo na lahat, ang tinira mo, paa, buntot, ulo. Paano pa maibebenta yan? Right now, maybe you don't believe me, but soon we pass this, if this bill will become a law, Madam Speaker, and will be given to Davao Light, it's not even a fair share for the people. We don't live there, Madam Speaker, pero mararamdaman nila ang hagupit. Will the distinguished sponsor yield to some question from this representation?
Definitely.
Thank you. Before I proceed with my question, Madam Chair, let me have some, it's not even a comment, but a statement. The proposed House Bill number 10554 suffers legal and constitutional challenge due to apparent overlap and possible infringement into the subsisting franchise permits and contracts previously granted to Nordeco. It violates Section 27 of Republic Act number 9136 or the Electric Power Industry Reform Act, also known as EPIRA, mandating that all existing franchises of electric cooperatives like Nordeco be allowed to their full term. The resulting repeal of Nordeco's franchise violates the non-impairment clause as provided in Section 10, Article 3 of the 1987 Constitution. The bill, on its face, is prohibited collateral attack. This is contrary to a jurisprudentially settled doctrine that a franchise cannot be subjected to a collateral attack. In addition, Madam Speaker, House Bill 11072 in its present form does not address the various issues that were raised during the deliberations in the committee. First, it does not address the stranded contract cost for power supply agreements between Nordeco and its power suppliers covering areas that it will be carved out of Nordeco's franchise area. Second, Madam Speaker, it does not address the electrification of unenergized sitios in far-flung barangays that are within the area to be carved out of Nordeco franchise area. Lastly, Madam Speaker, it does not address the issue on what will happen to the government subsidies received by Nordeco from programs such as the Sitio Electrification Program, Photovoltaic Mainstream Solar Home System, National Intensification of Household Electrification, Emergency Resiliency Fund upon the expropriation and taking over by Davao Light Power Corporation. Meaning, Madam Speaker, may pondo po ang gobyerno rito. May pera po ininvest sa Nordeco. Madam Speaker and distinguished sponsors, I propose amendments for the unity that will address all these issues that I mentioned. If the good sponsor can commit to me that he will accept the amendments that I will be proposing at the proper time, then I will dispense with my interpolation in the interest of time. Again, Madam Speaker, let me repeat what I said. Madam Speaker, I propose amendments that will address all those issues that I mentioned. If the good sponsor can commit to me that he will accept the amendments that I'll be proposing at the proper time, then I will dispense with my interpolation. Madam Speaker, ito pa mga tatanong ko, pabor na pabor sa mga consumers, not only in the area of Northern Davao Electric Cooperative, but as well as in Davao City, Madam Speaker.
Well, yes, Madam Speaker, medyo mahirap po sagutin yung kanyang tanong dahil hindi ko naman po alam kung ano yung mga pinapropose po niyang amendments. I cannot commit to something that I don't know. So you will have now to present those proposed amendments before I say yes or no.
Madam
And this is
Speak-
not yet the right time because we're still in the period of interpretation.
Madam Speaker, if the good sponsor allows me to read some of my amendments, at least to enlighten him, so I will read before I proceed to my interpolation.
Madam Speaker, is it okay if questions are asked and not the particular amendments? Because amendments will have to be discussed at the proper time. We're still in the period of interpretation. So, just for an organized discussion of this particular bill, let's stick to interpretation, the questions that you have and the objections that you have so that we may answer them. Then let's go to the specific amendments that you are going to propose, the Honorable De Jesus.
Thank you, Mr. Sponsor. Madam Speaker, then let me proceed to my first question then. Madam Speaker, distinguished sponsor, the chairman of legislative franchise, Nordeco has a fixed contracted capacity base on their franchise areas. Actual peak demand. Can the sponsor tell us the current contracted capacity of Nordeco?
The contracted capacity of Nordeco, as discussed in the various committee hearings that we had for almost a year, where the interpolator was present in all those hearings, is around 132.4 megawatts.
Okay.
That's based dun po sa sinabit po ng Nordeco sa committee.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Speaker, distinguished sponsor. After the select areas cherry-picked by double light DLPC are transferred to them, how much will be left in Nordeco's power demand?
The contracted capacity, which was discussed again in the committee hearings, it seems that the peak demand is 104 megawatts. Distinguished Madam Speaker, distinguished colleague, due to the Nordeco opting to leave some of the remaining areas within its jurisdiction instead of having the private DU take the whole area, 31 megawatts will remain in its demand. This is again according to the position paper that they submitted. Distinguished colleague, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, distinguished sponsor. My next question is the sponsor aware of the impact to the contracted capacity left to Nordeco once these areas are carved out from its franchise?
The impact on the remaining areas of Nordeco is addressed it's in the bill, the carve-out portion, where suppliers of Nordeco can transfer the equivalent supply contract to Davao Light, subject to CSP. Since approximately 70% of Nordeco's demand will transfer to Davao Light, suppliers can transfer 70% of their supply contracts to Davao Light subject to CSP. To ensure the lowest possible cost to consumers, these supply contracts will have to go through a competitive selection process. Nordeco suppliers will have the right to improve the lowest bid, giving advantage to continue their supply.
Madam Speaker, siguro kailangan malaman natin lahat kung ano ito, no? So tama ang sinabi ni Chairman Gas, our distinguished sponsor. The total demand of Nordeco is 132 megawatt. So the problem with the franchise, Madam Speaker, kinard up nila, kinuha lang nila yung laman, no? Yung Tagum City, which comprises around 70%. So matitira sa Nordeco is around 32 to 35 megawatt.
Oh.
Yan po ay biglang titriple ang presyo ng Nordeco. Kasi yung stranded contract cost ang magbabayad yung mga natitirang consumers na nakatira sa bundok na puro household dahil wala na magsasubsidize dahil kinuha nila ang Tagum City. That's why we are opposing the takeover of Double Light into the franchise of the Nordeco. No, we are in favor coexistence, yes. Di ba, at the end of the day, Mr. Speaker, ang kailangan natin dito, Madam Speaker and distinguished sponsor, competition. So, dapat hindi pwede kunin ang prangkisa ng Nordeco dahil meron pa silang natitirang 10 years sa kanilang kontrata. That's why I'm asking what will happen to the remaining stranded contract costs. Yung sinabi ni Chairman Gas o principal sponsor natin ay hindi sila magpapa-CSP. Ang tanong, ano mangyayari sa stranded contract costs? Yun ang tanong ko, Madam Speaker, distinguished sponsor. Not yung pag-CSP. Kasi pag nag-CSP ka, yung competitive selection process na sinasabi, diyan kayo maglalagay ng mga bagong power supply agreement. Pero ito, meron na existing eh. So ano po mangyayari pag kinarve out nyo at hindi binayaran ng double light yung 70 mahigit na megawatt dahil nga hindi nyo i-honor, kukuha sila ng bagong kontrata. What will happen to the stranded contract cost, Madam Speaker, distinguished sponsor?
Thank you, distinguished colleague, Madam Speaker. Alam po ninyo, ang stranded cost, pag hindi po nila linipat sa Davao Light, and then doon ho magkakaroon tayo ng stranded cost. Pag nilipat naman po nila, wala naman ho tayong pag-uusapan na stranded cost. Kasi ilipat ng yung existing contractor sa Davao Light. So, hindi naman po yatang maiiwan yan. Hindi automatic. It's only, pag hindi sila nagkasundo, doon lang tayo magkakaroon ng stranded cost.
Madam Speaker, distinguished sponsor, special to our chairman, can we read the House bill kung kasama talaga yan when we passed it in our committee level, kung kasama yung stranded contract cost na isasama sa double light in case ma-curve out ang 6 municipalities and 1 city sa kanila? Can we spell it out, Madam Speaker, kung nandun mismo sa bill?
Madam Speaker, our distinguished
Yes, the Honorable Margarita Nograles Almario, you're recognized.
Madam Speaker, it is true that the stranded cost explicitly is not stated in the House bill because these are one of the consequences due to the competitive selection process. So to further explain nga, hindi naman natin ilalagay lahat ng pwedeng maging consequences dyan with all the costs that will come with the electricity that will be placed because of the selection of the suppliers. But here, Madam Speaker, because of the competitive selection process that will happen, ang mangyayari, yung mga suppliers po, Madam Speaker, na nandoon with Nordeco, because magkakaroon ng selection process now, competitive selection process in terms of Davao Light, itong carve out na nga nito, the suppliers will end up supplying na carve out na area. So, malilesen din po ang mga suppliers and everything else sa matitira. So, it's a very unfair statement to generalize and state that the Nordeco prices will increase as a whole. Kung logically naman po, di ba, bababa po yung suppliers and pagbibigyan na ng supply since mapupunta na to sa carve-out area po ng Davao Light.
Madam Speaker, no, ulitin ko. The CSP will not come in, no? Hindi papasok to. We're talking about the stranded contract cost. Ang tanong, ano mangyayari sa existing contracts ng mga between supplier and Nordeco, no? Yun ang gusto ko malaman dito, hindi yung CSP. Kasi CSP will come later. Ang tanong ko, yung stranded contract cost, ano ang mangyayari doon? So yun ang hindi pa nasasagot, Madam Speaker. Not the CSP.
Madam Speaker, the stranded cost is again a consequence of the competitive selection process. Anong mangyayari po? So, mangyayari dun sa kontrata, it is still going to be existing. It will just have kumbaga parang amended dun sa contract nila. But the supply contract will still be existing as far as the remaining area will be concerned.
Again, Madam Speaker, I will not argue with the principal sponsor, but at the end of the day, titinan natin dito yung may iwan ng mga consumers ng Nordeco. From now, I guarantee you, Madam Speaker, distinguished sponsor, once na-carve out yan, doble ang matitirang presyo. I guarantee you, Madam Speaker, because may study na yan, Madam Speaker, no? At mamaya, ipipresent din ni Kong Dagok mamaya yan. na meron na talagang study na talaga not only in Nordeco but also in Davao City. Tataas din po yan. So kami have nothing against the Davao Light. We are for the betterment of the services, no? But at the end of the day, we have to look into it. Etong stranded contract cost, tatamaan tayong lahat dito pag ito'y natuloy. Kasi ito po'y pasanin sa mga natitirang mga consumers ng electric cooperative, ng Nordeco sa Davao. Let me move forward again to my next question.
Madam Speaker, may I just address that concern, Madam Speaker? At the end of the day, no, the consumers will be paying the overall rate naman yung binabayaran natin sa electricity bills natin. And although the stranded cost is one of the aspects, ang overall na binabayaran natin na bill naman ang nafe-feel din ng consumers. As far as itong sa stranded cost nga, no, isang aspeto lang din yan sa electricity bill po. And at the end of the day po, depende rin yan how Nordeco will be operating and how Nordeco will do their management and operations in terms of kung dodoble ba talaga ang magagawa nila with the stranded cost and all other aspects sa bill po ng consumer sa mga matitira na area, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, no, it's true that it's only one aspect. So I'll give you the second aspect. Yung Sitio Electrification Program, it's been a program of the national government, the National Electrification Administration, through the electric cooperatives to make sure all kababayans, all household must be given electricity. Now, kapag ito'y na private, the government will no longer subsidize yung Sitio Electrification Program. How will Davao Light guarantee us, Madam Speaker, na itutuloy nila itong Sitio Electrification Program na sarili nilang pera at hindi ipapatong sa mga consumers na gusto magpailaw? Madam Speaker.
Ang Sitio Electrification po ay is a national project. At hindi naman ho nakalagay kung yan ay private or public. Pero sinabi naman po at nag-commit ang Davao Light na itutuloy at susuportahan nila ang Sitio Electrification dahil it will also benefit them at the end of the day. They have committed to that also. But again, like I said, it's a national government project and nothing can stop government from pursuing the National Electrification Program. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, it's the government program of the Sitio Electrification Program. My next question will be, in Davao City alone, because that's the franchise area of the Davao Light Power Corporation, meron pa bang mga barangay doon na hanggang ngayon hindi nyo napapailawan? Because I remember, Madam Speaker, there were 2 barangays. So I just want to be updated kung napailawan nila because back then, during committee hearing, no less than Congressman ng Davao
Meron po ba?
ay nagre-reklamo na 2 barangay daw hindi pa napapailawan ng DLPC or Davao Light Power Corporation.
Madam Chair, that was during the committee hearing, and I believe as for someone from Davao City that has already been addressed. So right now it is at 99% for Davao Light in their Sitio Electrification Program, while Nordeco is at 75% pa lang po, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, yung sa Davao Light, I would like to have the copy of that because the last time I spoke to the barangay, hanggang ngayon wala pa rin daw silang ilaw. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. When it comes to Davao, Nordeco naman, it's true, 77%. Kasi ang sitios, nanganganak isa hindi natatapos, no? Kasi miya nanganganak yan, no? It's a moving part. So ang sitios po, tuloy-tuloy yan na hindi natatapos. Kaya tinutuloy po, kaya yan po 77 because we are located, no, kalat po, puro bundok, unlike Davao City, konti lang in a densely populated area. Kaya you cannot compare apples to oranges when it comes to Sitio Electrification Program. Again, let me move to my next topic, Madam Speaker. Next question. Essentially, the fixed charges payable to the power suppliers will still have to be paid until the power supply agreements expire. And fewer billed consumers will share these pass-on charges and administrative overhead costs. Does the sponsor agree that this will result in higher electricity costs for the remaining billed consumers of Nordeco?
It was Nordeco who opted to leave some of the remaining areas within its jurisdiction instead of having the private DU take the whole area. The fixed charges will also be answered by the carve-out provision of the bill. Once the equivalent supply contract is transferred to Davao Light, subject to CSP, the remaining fixed charges will be lower. So the answer is it will be lower.
Madam Speaker, my next question will be, the Davao Light Power has previously committed to lowering its rates compared to the current rates charged to the proposed expanded territory. But how about the areas that will be left to shoulder the carve-out contracted capacity as the representatives of the people? Can we stand by and allow these communities to bear unjust burden while others benefit? Ito po yung sinasabi ko kanina, Madam Speaker, na kawawa ang matitirang consumers ng Nordeco. Kinard up eh. Kumbaga, ulitin ko, kumbaga sa karne, kinatay mo na lahat, ang tinira mo, paa, buntot, ulo. Paano pa maibebenta yan? Right now, maybe you don't believe me, but soon we pass this, if this bill will become a law, Madam Speaker, and will be given to Davao Light, it's not even a fair share for the people. We don't live there, Madam Speaker, pero mararamdaman nila ang hagupit ng paglipat nila by carving out the most lucrative area, which is the Tagum City, Madam Speaker. Let me move to another question, Madam Speaker. Paragraph 3, Section 2 of the bill states that the grantee may conduct a competitive selection process for the electricity requirements in its expanded franchise area, provided that persons or entities that are supplying Nordeco electricity pursuant to supply agreements approved or provisionally approved by the ERC as of the date the expansion of the grantee's franchise area lapses into law shall have an opportunity to improve any offer made by a winning bidder in the grantee's CSP over its expanded franchise area, provided further that such offer should be proportionate to the capacity of such persons or entities existing supply agreement with Nordeco. Is this transition of operations provision in the bill an admission that the Davao Light and Power expanded franchise will indeed impair and prejudice the existing power supply agreements between Nordeco and their suppliers?
Yes, Madam, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, it is neither an admission of impairment nor is it a proof of prejudice against the existing power supply agreements and suppliers, as these suppliers have an opportunity to continue through their new DU's competitive selection process.
Mr. Speaker, sorry I called you Madam Speaker. I didn't even see that she's gone already. Mr. Speaker, given the foregoing, I would like to ask the good sponsor how this bill will address the objection of the Office of the President. If you remember, in July 27, 22, the same bill was vetoed by no less than our good President, which provides the bill runs counter to the provisions of Section 27 of Republic Act number 9136 or the IPIRA law, mandating that all existing franchises shall be allowed to their full term. Paano mangyayari to, Mr. Speaker? Kasasabi lang, ibinito noon July 2022. Ngayon, nag-reapply sila with the same provision. So ito malamang mabiti to. Kasi Nordeco franchise still exists, Mr. Speaker. So how can you answer this, Madam Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Sponsor?
Madam Speaker, distinguished colleague, the veto that the interpreter, the distinguished colleague, is asking was dealt to an earlier version of the measure under different circumstances. Iba po ang sitwasyon. We are almost confident that the current version has addressed the needs of the affected areas, which was the reason why it was vetoed in the first place, more accurately under current circumstances. At ngayon, meron na rin po tayong selection process which was not present in the previous bill that was vetoed by the President.
Again, Mr. Speaker and Mr. Sponsor, no? Ito siguro ulitin ko yung tanong ko, no? Hindi masyadong malinaw kasi. Ito klaro, Section 27, franchising power in the electric power sector. The power to grant franchises to persons engaged in the transmission, distribution of electricity shall be vested exclusively in the Congress of the Philippines. And all laws inconsistent with this act, particularly but not limited to Section 43 of PD 269, otherwise known as the National Electrification Decree, are hereby deemed repealed or modified accordingly, provided that all existing franchise shall be allowed to their full terms. Ito yung paulit-ulit kong sinasabi. By carving out the existing franchise of Nordeco, they violated the Constitution, Madam Speaker. Because according to PIRA, kailangan patapusin ng full term ang Nordeco. Yun ang sinasabi ko, Madam Speaker, na dapat sagutin. Dapat sagutin to kasi violated ang ating Constitution, ang EPIRA law has been violated. Kasi nga, nakalagay dito, ulitin ko, Madam Speaker, provided that all existing franchises shall be allowed to their full term. Eh, may 10 years pa natitira. So ano ang dapat sagot natin dito?
Well, I don't think naman po, Madam Speaker, distinguished sponsor, that the Constitution is being violated. As a matter of fact, the Constitution allows Congress through its Committee on Franchise to amend, to alter, and to change any existing franchise as long as the common good requires. And we're able to prove that the reason why this is being passed was passed by the previous Congress and is now again being approved by this Congress is because it is for the common good. We're looking at lower electricity rates for our constituents and the Filipino people in these areas that will be affected.
It's true, Madam Speaker, Mr. Sponsor, that the Congress has the power to amend, to alter. But they only do that in the DLPC, double light. Pero pagdating po sa Nordeco, hindi po natin inalter sa kanila. So, because they still have 10 years. Yun ang tanong dito. It's true, we have the power. But we did that on the part of double light. Pagdating sa Nordeco, hindi tayo nagpasa ng batas na i-rescind, we amend, we alter ang prangkisa ng Nordeco. So what I'm trying to say, Madam Speaker, Mr. Sponsor, you're back again, na dapat ipatuloy natin. What's keeping us na wag ituloy ang prangkisa ng Nordeco? Natatakot ba ang double light kapag nagpatuloy ang Nordeco ay tatalunin sila mismo sa Nordeco franchise area? Is that the concern of Double Light Power Corporation? Dahil maganda na ang patakbo Nordeco, natatakot sila pag coexist sila, tatalunin sila ng Nordeco. I would like to address that to Mr. Sponsor. Anong kinakatakot nyo na magtayo? Remember, we are for competition. Di ba? The more players, the better. It will benefit the consumers. So, ang tanong ko, Madam Speaker, bakit ayaw nila patakbuhin ang prangkisa, tapusin ng 10 years, and then, ang double light, pumasok, magtayo kayo ng sarili nyo, and then mag-compete sila. Whoever gets the reliable, affordable electricity, doon pupunta ang mga consumer.
Umani naman ito ng iba't ibang reaksyon mula sa ating mga netizens. Ayon kay Efiren Lamapas, thank you Congressman Dagoop and De Jesus. Junk the House Bill 6740 and yes to Nordeco. Pahayag naman ni Goldie Rivera, the retail rate will increase in Davao City, the existing franchise area. At ito naman ang saloobin mula sa ating kababayan na si Regine Marocco. Thank you so much for your unwavering support Congressman De Jesus. We deeply appreciate your commitment, support and dedication to NORDECO and to all member consumer owners. Mga kababayan, feel free to comment below para maglabas ng saloobin sa balitang ito.